Coming up on Up at Noon, we've got James Franco talking about the disaster artist, we've got some cool Power Rangers model kits we assembled, and we got some comfy Star Wars parkas. All that and more right now on Up at Noon Live.
Welcome to Up at Noon. I'm Brian Altano. This is Max Scoville.
Hello.
This is our weekly variety show of stupidity, vagrancy, and nonsense.
Now hold on a second. Don't say things are stupid unless you hate them, right?
That's not true.
Right. No, exactly. Well, I think last week I said something was stupid and goofy, and people got real mad because I think all kinds of things are stupid and goofy.
Bring your old laundry out on the show.
You're stupid and goofy.
That's a term of endearment.
Exactly. We talk about all kinds of stupid and goofy things.
Anyway,
it's a fun junk food show.
It is. And that's why we think you're stupid. You know what that means? It means we love you. That's what it means. Who's a good boy? I am this bulldog over here.
I don't even know where
Up
you're
at
going
Noon
with this.
airs every week at Thursday Pacific Time, 12 p.m., the noon time as they call it, the time of wizarding.
Should we just be open about this? We're not live this week.
No, I hate when you tell them that.
Why? Because they're talking to us in the chat and we can't hear
You
them.
shouldn't be talking to
We're
them
on a plane
during the show.
Yes, we should. It's a
We're
live
working.
show. It's a live show. We're supposed to address this. If you're
So is
watching
Regis
us,
and
if
Kelly.
you're
You think
watching us
Regis is in the
live,
comments all
we
day?
can't
No.
hear you.
No.
We're on an airplane.
Regis is
We're
old.
on an airplane going to PSX. So if you're going to PSX this weekend, come say hello to us in person, and we will hopefully interact with you directly. Unlike right now in the chat because we can't see you because this episode is not live.
That's true.
It's Up at Noon lie.
Well,
it's
actually,
not real. It's fake. It's a lie.
We're on a plane to the Game Awards where we're going to accept a very prestigious award for Up at Noon, the show no one knows about. The number one show that no one
Biggest sleeper hit.
And I can't imagine why. Up at Noon every week airs on Twitch, IGN, Roku, Apple TV, YouTube, Xbox One, PS4, Wowza. I think that was a sentence like, wowza, I can't believe so many platforms. Wowza sounds like one of the platforms. So if you own a Wowza streaming device,
I don't know.
Watch it.
Honestly, I don't know if somebody put Wowza in the prompter as a joke or if that's a new streaming platform, but in either case, congratulations to Wowza, whether or not you're a real platform. On that note, let's talk about some of the news of the week. The thing that we probably got today was the Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom trailer.
is that tonight?
We know that. I don't know if it's happening. It's Thursday night football.
It's happening
or
during
something.
sports, which is a night out.
I think this is unprecedented because this is the most trailers we've gotten for a trailer.
Yeah.
All week they've been putting up teasers for Jurassic World 2, and this has become a thing we've come to expect, where they show like a 5-second snippet, and it's like full trailer coming on Wednesday or whatever. In this case, they've done 2 different ones leading up to it. And then, of course, when you watch the full trailer, most likely they're going to show you both of those and then show you the production logos and then the full thing, because somewhere on the internet somebody was like, algorithmically, people will click out of a video if it doesn't show them dinosaurs and explosions in the first 5 seconds of watching it. So,
true.
That being said, I mean, Jurassic World 2 it looks like a good time.
I'll be honest with you, I'm tremendously excited for this movie.
Yeah?
And look, none of these movies are great. The first one is pretty good.
Yeah.
It's the best movie you can make about a theme park where the dinosaurs go bad.
Pretty much,
right?
yeah.
Like,
no, I mean, I think
people are already going to get mad at me over that, but I actually really like Jurassic World as a dumb movie that I watched on a Saturday morning because I knew what it would be about, and on those tenets, it delivered. What did they say that film would do? Would the men die at the mouths of the dinosaurs? Yes, they did. And I enjoyed that very much. I thought those dinosaurs did a really good job of tearing up those men real good.
They certainly did.
They beat those things up with their teeth.
You know, what I like about the Jurassic Park franchise is I think it has the same trajectory that the Jaws movies have.
Yeah.
Like the first Jaws it's an incredible movie. Wonderful Steven Spielberg direction, just fantastic film. It's got the realistic monsters. It's very scary. It's based on a real book that's actually a good book. And then there's sequels. And the first sequel is like, and then the third sequel you're like, and Jurassic World is effectively Jaws the Revenge. It goes off the rails, it's very silly, they make up a new dinosaur. In this case, it looks like they're continuing down that path and getting even sillier, and I'm fine with that. I'm totally okay with dinosaur movies being weird and goofy, but if you're holding them up to the same expectations set by the first movie, then of course you're gonna be let down.
I agree.
It's not real. The dinosaurs aren't real. Just
I
fun.
think Jurassic Park 3 is better than 2.
Yeah,
Probably hate me for that.
Because 2 walks that weird line where it's like it's stupid, but it's still trying to stay close to the source material. And
I think Carnosaur is better than the last X-Men movie. Probably the last 3 of them.
Sure.
I'm going to say that too.
Sure.
I think dinosaurs are great. I love them as a child. I love them as a man. I love them as an old dead skeleton. They are awesome. What are they? Large frogs. No one really knows. We can't find them.
Scientists have figured
They're all
out
gone.
that they're not large frogs. They're actually very different from large frogs.
Frogs with teeth.
Anyway, if you enjoy large frogs with teeth, you'll probably enjoy Jurassic World 2: Fallen Kingdom,
I'm gonna give you-
directed by Colin Trevorrow.
I'm going to give you a little advice though if you're watching the trailer at home tomorrow. Don't actually this film. Do not. It's not real. I know the skeletons are wrong and they should have feathers and hair or whatever. Stop it. It's not real. It's fake. It's not a real thing. They're not really there. You know what's not real is a bunch of millionaires making a park that has cloned animals in it that learned how to change genders so they can make out and make babies that kill.
Is that why you think that they're huge frogs with teeth, because they used frog DNA?
Yeah.
Is that what really your takeaway from that film?
Yeah, they're part frog.
All right. Anyway.
I don't know. Like if you had a great grandmother that was Spanish, I'd be like, my man's 10% Spanish over here.
All right.
Dinosaurs are 10% frogs.
All right.
And I'm full turtle.
Great. Anyway.
So really, don't watch this film and don't watch this trailer and be like, that's not real science. Don't Neil deGrasse Tyson this.
Okay.
Don't actually this movie.
All right. Okay.
Dinosaurs are back. They're going to eat the men with their teeth, and they're all frog on the inside.
Great. Okay. Anyway, we found out recently that a special little boy is not dead, and that little boy's name is Mega Man. He's actually alive, and he's back once again. Mega Man 11 is coming out next year, and that's great. I think between Resident Evil 7 and Mega Man 11, it's like Capcom is making stuff that people want.
Yeah.
They're making a scary Resident Evil game. They're making a cute little 2D jumping Mega Man game.
They sobered up, they found their keys, and now they're ready to drive.
I really would have phrased it literally any other way than that, but you said it, and here we are.
Yeah.
So Mega Man is not dead, he's back.
He's back, and I think what we should talk about, which we haven't really editorialized before, is what kitchen appliances do you think would make good bad boys in this film?
It's not a film.
It is right now.
It's a game.
It's a movie you can watch. It's not a game yet. So who do you think they should have? I think there should be a Vitamix.
You know what? I'm gonna go right there with you on this. There have been a lot of developments in kitchenware apparatuses since Mega Man first made his foray onto the scene. I think there's all kinds of crazy things. Pressure cookers have made a big comeback. Slow cookers.
Pressure cookers are terrifying.
Slow cooker man.
Yeah.
What about a nice sous vide?
Oh, that's
like
a great
big,
idea.
Big, like politically incorrect Frenchman who's also just like, I will slowly cook the thing.
Do you know how that level could work? Okay, so it's all underwater, right? And it just periodically gets boiling, and Mega Man has to put on a special costume to survive. And at the very end, he fights this large rod that heats up those meat bags.
Yes. The new Mega Man boss, his name is Large Rod.
Yep. The Vitamix level is giant, very expensive blender. The level could spin around theatrically and try to kill Mega Man. That would be good. He has his dog in there. That's good.
That's true.
Everyone loves that.
Anyway, Mega Man.
What about a waffle maker?
We don't need to.
Espresso machine.
Okay.
There are plenty of kitchen appliances that you have right next to you right now that could be great.
Why are you watching this show in your kitchen? It's probably unsafe, and put those things back in the kitchen if they're in your bedroom.
What's your favorite kitchen appliance?
Sound off in the comments, or whatever.
Also, I know no bedroom appliances.
What is a bedroom appliance?
I think you know what it is.
Like a lamp?
I
A clock
think you
radio?
know what a bedroom appliance.
A humidifier?
I think you know what it is.
All right.
It rhymes with Bilbo.
Okay, so we miraculously had a wonderful special guest this episode. James Franco came by to talk about The Disaster Artist, which is, of course, the upcoming film that's based on the book The Disaster Artist, about the making of The Room, one of the worst movies ever made. James Franco, he plays Tommy Wiseau, who's a very strange man. And we got to talk to James Franco, and he did some funny voices for us and talked a bit about bad movies. Let's take a look. Hey everybody, Max and Brian here. We are here with James Franco. You are the director and producer and star of The Disaster Artist, which is a movie about Tommy Wiseau, the director, producer, and star of The Room.
Very meta.
Wow.
That was a walk.
It's kind of trippy. Now this is
Now, I have been talking about it with Seth Rogen, produced the film. We couldn't come up with another example of a movie where the director acted in it, playing a director who acted in his own movie. And then on top of that, I stayed in character.
Right.
Can you think of another?
I don't know.
I mean, there's probably like something weird and meta like on YouTube, but I don't know if that counts as like a movie.
Yeah.
All
Those YouTube people, yes.
Yes, for sure.
If you take YouTube out of the equation.
If you take YouTube out of the equation forever, I think what was fascinating to me was like on a technical level, like how you made a movie about making a movie, which first of all, that's happened before, but the way you made yours was you made a movie about making a bad movie.
Yeah. I mean, there are precedents in that. You know, some of my favorite movies, in fact, Boogie Nights,
Right.
which is porn, but like
It's a bad movie.
they're obviously making stuff. You know, they're not good actors.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And yeah, porn generally isn't considered like high art.
Yeah.
And then Ed Wood
Ed Wood's
by
the one,
Tim Burton.
I got serious Ed Wood vibes. From
Yeah,
that,
I mean, what I loved about that movie is it was just like Ed Wood, you know, was considered before Tommy Wiseau was considered, I think, the Orson Welles of bad movies.
Right.
But Tim Burton is a master filmmaker and framed this, you know, poor filmmaker within this lens of like this great, you know, high cinematic art.
Well, and
it's one of the most beautiful movies. You know.
Yeah.
You sympathize for him. I saw Ed Wood and it immediately made me watch Plan 9 from Outer Space or Glen or Glenda, and I was like, what did I just see? I was in college. I was like, we had like $5 this week to spend, and we spent it on renting this movie.
Yeah, but there's something about Tommy's movie, Tommy Wiseau's movie, The Room, that's I don't know, still alive, very vital for people that, you know, it's been going for 14 and a half years.
Yeah, they're still doing midnight showings. There's
yeah.
like very vocal cult following.
Right.
And also like
So it's a particular kind of badness.
Yeah. He's also kicking around still. He's out there.
Oh, big time. I mean, I think he's like profiting now from The Room. He paid for it at the tune of $6 million for the movie, which is surprising if you've ever seen The Room, because it looks about like $60, right? But
yeah.
I mean, part of that is he paid for all the lights, he paid for the cameras. He, you know, shot for 8 months in a parking lot. You know, he shot green screen in a parking lot, you know, for these rooftop scenes. For what reason, I don't know, or why he bought the lights, I don't know. I mean, they tried to talk him out of it. He's like, no, this is real Hollywood movie. No Mickey Mouse stuff.
Now, did you? Obviously, you've had some FaceTime with him because you managed to completely nail that impression, but like.
Well, that's the thing. You know Tommy, right, from his video game.
He did a Let's Play series a while ago. Okay. I got to interview him, and now it's
so you know
weird.
Tommy, and you were telling me that you got very little from him.
He's like a shrewd man. He
is so slippery. He will talk around you in circles upon circles, right?
Sometimes he'll just laugh in your face, and you're like, you didn't answer anything. You just laughed.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, and without spoiling The Disaster Artist, I went into that movie going like, I'm finally going to learn a lot about Tommy. And at the end, it was like, I didn't learn a lot about Tommy.
But you felt for him.
But yes.
You feel like you know him a little better.
That's the thing. And all these questions were still unanswered, but I was like, I do feel like I understand him
But that's the thing. Look, Tommy's facade is very thin.
Yeah.
He say, you know, the three mysteries, you know, among many, but the three main ones are, you know, where he's from, and he sounds like this, and he say from New Orleans. Like, I don't think anybody believes him, right?
How old he is.
How old he is. He said you know, when he made The Room, he was in his 20s.
Right.
Like, he's not fooling anybody, right? So it's not, our goal was not to like, all right, here's the truth. It's not that hard to figure out. What's more interesting is like, why is he holding up his facade? Why is he holding onto that so tightly? What is the kind of emotional, you know, underpinning of that? Like, why does he need to do that?
I mean, I still can't pinpoint like geographically what that accent is. Is it like
it's Eastern Europe?
Is it Eastern Europe? Because it's like a little New York
I took
too.
him
It's
on.
like Transylvania, Brooklyn.
I took him. Yeah. Well, yeah, exactly. It sounds like
Vampire from
Transylvania through Paris, and then like came to Hollywood.
Yeah,
and
there's a little bit of Hollywood.
Tried to get a voice coach and like failed miserably.
Yes.
I actually have his recordings with his vocal.
Man.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
He's trying to lose the accent and fails miserably.
Man.
Like, yeah.
Well, I don't know if you play like many video games. I started playing Skyrim again recently, and like this big open world elf game. I'm sorry, I'm on a tangent here.
Okay,
but all the characters in the game are like not Eastern European, but they all show up and they're like, "Thank you for coming to my house. I'm hoping you can do a few quests for me."
Tommy did the voice?
And it sounds like Tommy. Like you're like, this is somebody who's never heard an accent, doing another accent, but doing it well, and then breaking.
Well, that's what they say about The Room. it's as if an alien from another planet came down and was like, I will show human life, you know? It's because it's there in a way. People are living in this apartment and, you know,
it's
and
outsider art.
there's a girlfriend and everything, but it's like everything is just a little off.
Right.
He's got the job at the bank doing stuff. You're like,
Well,
what is-
he even says like, he or his girlfriend says like, yeah, the computer business very competitive. Now it's true. That's true.
The computer business is kind of a broad concept there.
Just the idea of anything computer and business, yeah. I mean, to make the movie, was it bizarre to have like a cast and crew filming a cast and crew? Like there's like cameras filming cameras, and
It's
some are
sort of tricky,
on.
yeah. I mean, when we were doing the on-set scenes, which were in fact what we shot first, there were a lot of meta levels as we've already established. We had to hire, like, the people that are playing the camera crew in front of our camera were all people that knew how to run a camera. Because they had to, you know, we couldn't have them suddenly, like, you know, not doing focus in the right way or putting the lights in the way. So we had all these people that were friends of the cinematographer, Brandon Tross, and they came in and, like, we're actors in a way. And then there's a character Marcus, who shoots all the behind the scenes, which Tommy actually did. And his direction to that real Marcus was film everything. And so he listened to that. Because I've seen hours upon hours of that behind the scenes footage of the room, and it's like,
oh man,
cars pulling into the parking lot. Like unrolling the green screen. You know what I mean? But also, like filming, conversations that, you know, where people didn't know they were being filmed, and then Tommy would go back and rewatch that, like at the end of the night. Like I don't know how he had. I guess he didn't sleep. He drinks a lot of Red Bull.
Yeah,
as you know, famously. And so I guess he would film all day, 12 hours, and then go home and watch 12 hours.
So did you guys have like a craft service table and then like a prop craft service table that people like ate from accidentally? Like how many times did things get mixed up, or was it sort of like you could see the layers of it all unfolding?
Well, you could sort of differentiate usually, because when we were doing the scenes on the room set, their production value was considerably lower than ours. Like we at least had decent food. Like Tommy famously didn't give them water.
Right. And you did.
Yeah, there's water in the shot. Get it out of there. Yeah,
that's good. So you didn't go for that level of realism.
We had some M&Ms. And some water. They didn't even have water.
They didn't even have water.
But I mean, like, if you've got like cables in the shot, or is anyone like, oh, those cables are those are actually modern cables? Get that? We need 2003 era cables in there.
No,
like,
the most confusion came from me. Like we established, like I was directing the movie, and then I sort of, you know, the disaster artist, but then also playing Tommy directing the room within the scenes, and I sort of stayed in character, which in some ways just made everything simpler. It was like, yeah, I just stay like this all day, you know? And so I would direct my brother, Dave, who's playing Greg Sestero, like, okay, in this scene, like maybe you're, you know.
How did you
now that I do it, now I think about it, I'm like, yeah, maybe that was super bizarre. But there would be times when I'd be like, okay, we go again.
You're method acting a director and directing the method acting that you're.
Yeah. So people would be like, wait, is that Tommy?
Yeah.
Or like, it's James? Or
like when you read about like Daniel Day-Lewis, like one of the greats, it's like he stayed in character, like, you know, he's like the I drink your milkshake guy the entire time. He wasn't directing a movie during that, you know?
Exactly.
Yeah, that's insane.
Yeah, I took that to the next level.
Yeah, like he does it in the trailer.
On the other hand, I've heard from people that have worked with him that Spielberg can, you know, when Daniel Day's playing Lincoln, like Spielberg can go over and like talk to him, and it's not like 14th Amendment. You know, like, it's like, you know, he can talk to him as an actor.
I love
and that was sort of me. Like, I didn't, you know, Tommy Weiss, you know, the disaster artist, I think you guys can back me up. You've seen the disaster artist. Disaster artist does not look like the room. You know what I mean?
No.
There's a frame around it
Yeah.
that is of a different, you know, kind of mode.
By the way, I love your Abraham Lincoln impression that he's just like, 14th Amendment.
That's all I know about Lincoln.
He walks in, he starts the sentence with an amendment, and he's like, let's talk about other stuff now. That's fantastic.
You've got a ton of people in this movie who clearly, like, I mean, it seems like everyone wanted to be there because this has this cult following. You've got like J.J. Abrams at the top of the movie being like, this is a great film. Who was the most excited when you approached them about about being in it?
There are so many. I mean, we got really lucky. We have an incredible cast of both comedians and dramatic actors. We got like Bryan Cranston, Bob Odenkirk, J.J. Abrams. And a lot of that was just fans of, because there were so many fans of The Room, and they were really psyched. And Seth Rogen was like, I've never done a project where so many people are jealous of what we're doing, But I have to say, maybe the most surprising ardent fan of Tommy in The Room was Bob Odenkirk, who knew The Room, from Better Call Saul and Breaking Bad.
Yeah, Mr. Show was my adolescence through comedy is Mr. Show.
Right.
So to see him on the screen, I was like, yep, I'm in.
Yeah. So I mean, he didn't need to be in a James Franco movie. I think he was a great dude. He was awesome.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of that was just he was such a big fan of the
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was excellent. I even seeing Nathan from Nathan for You, which is my favorite show on TV right now. He had an actually very prominent role in the film, which was great.
Yeah, he plays Peter, the psychologist.
Yeah.
The real Peter. So Peter is one of the. That's actually not the guy's real name, but his name in The Room is Peter. That character famously disappears halfway through The Room and is replaced by somebody else, soap opera style, and they don't even explain it. So audiences. In theatrical screenings, The Room will be like, when the new guy shows up, who are you? Because he just comes in, anyway. The real Peter, long before I shot the movie, The Disaster Artist, I met him on a commercial. He was doing grip work or a PA work on a commercial in LA. And he's like, hey, I play Peter in The Room. I'm like, oh, wow, I'm going to do the movie. He's like, I know. And then he's like, you should email me. And he gave me his card. I'm telling this story on here because you guys deal with video games.
Sure.
And on the thing, there was a icon from a video game, Achievement Unlocked, right?
Oh my God.
And it's Achievement Unlocked, you have met Peter from The Room.
Oh my God. Is this business card?
Yeah,
Oh my
that's
God.
his business card. And
It's really dorky.
what's also interesting about that is just everybody that was involved with The Room, at a certain point, at one point they probably thought, they just didn't know. A lot of them, it was their first job, or, as most actors know that come to Hollywood, in the early days, you're just excited to do anything. And as my brother Dave will say, playing Greg, he asked the real Greg Sestero, why, did you know that it was going to be bad? And Greg sort of in the book talks about, he knew it would be bad. But on the other hand, look, Greg did this other movie right before The Room called Retro Puppet Master, which is arguably worse than The Room. It's definitely people aren't watching that 14 years later. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
It's a more predictable bad, yeah.
So it's hard to know when you're in the middle of it. But at a certain point, they must have all known, this is horrible.
This is bad.
And thought, there was a small window before The Room, then developed into this cult phenomenon where they thought, all right, well, nobody will ever see it, right? And then it just sort of became this huge thing in their lives that they're identified with. And so now they're all doing their own project. Greg wrote the book. And I know we're on a video game thing, so I should give a shout out to his co-writer Tom Bissell, who
shout out to Tom.
Writes Gears of Wars.
Yeah,
right?
it was the Gears of War, the fourth one, I think.
He's written books about video games.
Yeah, he did.
Wrote Extra Lives about video games. Great
writer.
book about, sort of an argument about, for video games being an art form.
Yeah.
And, great book. It also goes, the last chapter is this confession about getting addicted to Grand Theft Auto 4 and then going on a weird Coke binge while playing that.
It happens,
in
man.
Rome. Okay. Maybe you guys talk about that a lot. I don't know. Anyway, they all have these now projects where they're almost trying to take a little bit of ownership back, because The Room has kind of, in a weird way, taken over their lives.
Right.
Well, it's like a monkey paw wish. You wound up in a hit film. It's just a really, really bad hit film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's amazing. I wanted to talk to you about that for a minute because The Disaster Artist is a good film about a bad movie, but I think a lot of people try to make a bad movie on purpose, and like because they're aware of it, it comes out almost too good.
Yeah, you
like
get,
there's stuff
like,
like Snakes on a Plane or like
Yes,
Sharknado.
yes.
And they're like, we're making a bad movie. You got to come see this bad movie. And it's
Yes.
like, well, that's actually you knew it was going to be bad, and it
Yes.
turned out okay. How does that happen? Like, what is the perfect balance between like we're making a bad movie and we made a good movie that we're telling people is bad? I know that's a very long question.
You mean the people that go out
Yeah, like how do you?
and try to make like a campy movie?
Yeah.
Well, that's sort of the difference between Sharknado and something like The Room. Because Tommy was trying to make a great movie.
Yeah.
I mean, the original poster said it all. He wrote on the original poster, Tennessee Williams level drama. And then after spending $6 million and it recouping only $1,800, he still paid on his own dime to keep it in theaters for 2 weeks to qualify for the Oscars. So it shows that Tommy was not trying to make a bad movie or a funny movie, right? When, he's a great rewriter of history and now says, yeah, I intended to be funny. And what he's saying, he's like, The Room, now he says, The Room is a safe place. You can laugh, you can cry, do whatever you like, express yourself, just don't hurt yourself. So that is, this welcome to come and have fun with The Room. And I think it's a great gift that he's giving people because now people can laugh at it and not feel cruel. You know what I mean? Like it's this.
Yeah, he's not trying to run away from it. He's being like, I meant to do that.
And when you go to a room screening, or when all the ones I've been to, it's not nasty. It's actually kind of a communal thing. And when Tommy shows up, people are really excited to see him.
Right.
And I think that's part of the sort of weird, voodoo that he does now, and the persona that he's taken on of this kind of wacky guy that, in some ways is impenetrable. In other ways, he's got this sort of affable arrogance that allows you to laugh. You know what I mean? It's a gift almost. Anyway, with the other ones, Sharknado, Birdemic, those are a thing. You know what I mean? And there are followings of those movies, but they're not playing once a month in almost every major city, right? And so I think what the secret sauce is with Tommy and The Room, and why it makes The Room stand apart from all the other bad movies is there is heart underneath it. Tommy threw himself into it. It is a very personal statement, whether he admits it or not now, about how he felt at the time and that the world had betrayed him.
Yeah.
Because in the Room, his girlfriend Lisa and
You're really good at that voice. It's
I can't. I think it's just like a virus.
This is gonna be one of those things
fun.
you're doing.
It's
I'm
fun
not
to
going to
do
be
it.
able to direct or do it, any sort of accent. Like I do this show, The Deuce, for HBO.
Yeah, which I
Wonderful
love.
show.
I have
Yeah.
a Brooklyn accent and I play twins. I think next season it's just going to be like, hey,
What are the twins want on
Where are you
vacation?
going on 42nd Street? Like, I'm not going to be able to get rid of it.
So we actually put together some quick quotes. They are from some famous movies and from some famous video games. Now, here's the thing about video games. Most of the writing is not good. It's not good. And we were wondering if you could just fly through a couple of them.
What writing? What do you mean?
So these are some famous quotes from movies and some famous quotes from video games. I don't know if you want to.
Okay.
I was wondering if you
Okay.
could read this one
But
specifically.
you get people like Tom Bissell is
He's a good writer.
legitimately
No, he's a
great
good one.
writer.
There are good writers. Yeah.
But it took a long time to get to Tom. Like the 80s and 90s, we didn't have Tom Bissell.
I see. I see.
We had your Tommies.
Okay,
Like it got a little different.
Okay.
So
you picked a particularly
yes.
good bad one.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to start you with a very bad one. This is from a video game.
Do I have to guess? Or
Resident
what am I
Evil.
doing?
No, I'm
just doing
So
it.
this is from Resident Evil. This is Barry Burton. I was hoping you could do this as Tommy.
Yeah, I'll do them all this time.
Okay.
Joe, here's a lockpick. It might come in handy if you, the master unlocking, tag it with you.
Oh, that's excellent. So that's one of the lines that actually went on to be like cult status in video games because it's
Really?
it's very bad. He says it in like a haunted house. It's not good.
Okay.
I think you actually did it better than the original.
Yeah, I
voice
think you
actor.
did.
Yeah, you kind of. Yeah.
This is probably the most iconic line from all of video games. This is Super Mario.
I can't remember Mario talking.
Oh, he just recently he had like this Italian disease where he couldn't talk for 30 years. Now it's okay.
It's me, Mario. Oh, hi, Mario. Yeah.
This one's from Metal Gear Solid.
Do you believe love can bloom on the battlefield? That sounds like a Tommy quote.
Yes,
That's definitely a Tommy quote.
This is from the game Shenmue, which I still don't really understand, but people love it.
Oh, man. This could be a Tommy quote.
Yep.
Do you know where I can find some sailors? Okay.
Let's do, this is from Mortal Kombat. This gets yelled a lot in the arcades in the 90s.
Get over here!
All right.
This is resonating with you guys on a whole other level than I knew.
This is very good. Should we do another video game one, or do you want a movie one?
Let's do one more game one.
Okay, let's do one more game one. What do we have in here? What do we have? Okay, this one's good. This one's very good. You're going to love this. This one is from Fallout. Okay. And it's spoken very seriously in the game. So
It's Ron Perlman who voices it in the game.
Oh, wow.
He's been doing it for like 4 or 5 games now.
He
is a good actor. This is actually not that bad of a line, but how would Tommy do it?
War never changes. There you go.
All right, last two.
All right.
This is from Skyrim, the game I talked about earlier, which this is perfect for him because a lot of people talk like him in this game.
I used to be a venturer like you. Then I took arrow to knee. Okay.
All right, and finally, from Destiny, this was Peter Dinklage, right?
Yeah. They actually they patched it out because people made fun of it too much.
Yeah.
That wizard came from the moon. All right, there you go.
Thank you so much.
I don't know how Dinklage said
No,
it.
that was. Well, they cut his line, so that is
with the
perfect.
passion of Tennessee Williams. That was
There you go,
beautiful.
thank you.
James, thank you so much.
Yeah, seriously.
All right,
Yeah,
dude.
this is
The
awesome.
Disaster Artist is in theaters. Go see it. Bring your friends. Go see it. Yell at the screen. Get excited. It's an awesome time, and then go see The Room if you haven't already.
There you go.
If you have seen The Room, see it again. It gets worse every time.
Just don't hurt yourself.
Don't hurt yourself. Wow, that was great. Now check this out. Hey everyone, it's Brian and Max from Up at Noon and IGN, and we are huge Star Wars fans, if you couldn't tell. And we have very, very wonderful news to report. Columbia, the outerwear jacket company, is making Star Wars jackets once again this year.
Yeah, they did these for Rogue One last year. They had like a Jyn Erso, Cassian Andor one. And what takes place in the snow? Empire Strikes Back. So they made a bunch of jackets based on what the Rebels wear on Hoth.
Yeah.
We're wearing the Han Solo one. They also
This is
make
the
a,
Echo-based parka. You can get it at Columbia stores starting December 8th. It is $400, which is pricey, but we're wearing them and we don't want to take them off. They're incredibly comfy and incredibly warm, especially in this terrifying Wampa cave here. We've brought our small Tauntaun with us and our probe droid. We really love Star Wars and all the toys.
If we didn't live in California, it would be very cold outside and we'd go out in the snow and play with our toys. Unfortunately, it's very sunny out, so we don't actually really need to wear these outside. But if you live somewhere where it's horrible outside, it's good to get some foul weather gear like this. And it's kind of a fun thing about Hoth is that it makes it fun to go in the snow.
Yeah.
A little bit, a tiny bit.
So these have faux fur lining. That's not real Tauntaun up there. There's also patches from the Rebel insignia to the inside, which I think is really cool. It has a Millennium Falcon that says, "Never tell me the odds." They're incredibly warm. On the inside, they are, oh, I thought they smelled bad on the outside. On the inside, they're very warm and they're sort of silver metallic and they are water resistant and once again, super comfortable. So thank you to Columbia for sending over these awesome jackets. They make more for Luke and Leia on Hoth, so go check those out too. There's also a special edition brown one that's actually the color of the original jacket in the film that you can get at select stores that was sort of partnered with Harrison Ford himself to help out charities. So go check those out and thanks for watching IGN, Up at Noon, and Star Wars, where it's very cold, so we're gonna snuggle because it's freezing, but we have nice warm jackets and Tauntauns. Okay, that was incredible. But Max, you spent the entire weekend building model kits.
Yeah.
Which is on brand for you.
Yeah, it's not too far off from the kinds of things that I'm prone to do. So there's a company called Bluefin that has been really good about importing some cool sort of high-end Japanese hobby type stuff. They import a bunch of Dragon Ball Z stuff and also Power Rangers. Now, I grew up building Gundam models. I love them. I love that they're snapped together so you can like assemble something and put stickers on it and have a very kind of straightforward kit, or you can get creative and paint it and really detail the crap out of it. These are called Super Mini Pla. as in miniature plastic, I guess. That's sort of the shortened condensation. But basically, it's the Megazord, which you have to build all of the different Dinozord animals and piece it together to make this guy. It entirely comes apart. Like you can do the whole thing that they do in that intro from Power Rangers, where the animals all become the big man.
Right.
I stupidly painted a bunch of the pieces before assembling it, so it's very sticky.
Okay.
But the kit is very posable. It's awesome. I had a really fun time building this.
Dude, this thing is gorgeous. So I think a lot of people, when they think model kits, they think something stationary and static.
Yeah.
The fact that these effectively transform and then connect with each other is really cool.
No, it's rad. This is kind of something that's people have gotten accustomed to with Gundam models. Gundam models do one thing that I really do love, where they have like little soft plastic pieces that go in between the joints to kind of allow them to be more movable.
Yeah.
This kit doesn't have that for reasons I'm unclear of, which made it a little bit trickier with paint on there. But yeah, again, mostly this, I didn't really paint this a whole lot. It was mostly pre-colored, so it just snaps together and you put stickers on there. I put a bunch of just sort of gloss coat on there to give it that shiny look, but it was a fairly straightforward assembly. You can get this thing, this one's $60, and then there's the Dragonzord, which is $45, and I actually like this one, I think, way better.
So Bandai makes a lot of snap together Star Wars kits that I'm really into. I've built like 4 or 5 at this point, and I think like the cool thing about that is that it ends up. Oh, it looks like he's got to pee on a fire hydrant.
He's gonna take a leak.
Yeah, that's good. That's
marking
a good
his territory.
Oh, he's peeing on his friend.
Yeah, he doesn't like that.
Not great.
No, thank you.
I think the cool thing about the price point is that what you end up with is basically the same price you'd pay for like a high-end action figure.
Yeah.
But you built it.
I mean, it's some assembly required. It's cool because I feel like when they're making these, they kind of looked at what's the fun part of making a model kit. And really, end of the day, it's not the part where you glue your fingers together. It's kind of either the customization or just the having the thing that you built. If you take a look at the Dragonzord, all this stuff is just stickers. It comes with a bunch of like pretty easy to put on stickers. You just stick them on there and.
Okay, so you don't have to like dip them in water and.
No, they're just stickers.
I love that so
It's
much.
totally straightforward. This also, they do the whole thing. As you can see on the box here, the Megazord can turn into like tank mode, which is I would show you, but it takes a minute to kind of piece that whole thing together. But all the individual animal pieces, the Dinozords, they do come apart like that. So.
Right.
And then the Dragonzord, you can take him apart and do the whole thing where they become like Ultra Super Megazord version. I forget what happens. I know that like Lord Zed shows up and he teams up with Rito Repulsa and they have like weird, awkward chemistry, and then they form together to form like a giant super version. They also have Titanus, the big like Brontosaurus. That is the name of it. I don't know if it's like, please don't do that on the show. Please don't. Anyway, I'm not even going to say that Brontosaurus' name again, but he's available in 2018 and he's $150 and you can make the whole thing right on top of each other.
So in terms of sort of expert level to put something like this together, you've been building models your whole life. I've built a lot myself. I found the Star Wars ones generally pretty easy, with a couple hiccups here and there. How are these?
So again, I basically like these come all kind of in runners, and they're all the colors are sort of separated. And I stupidly just like painted the red ones red and the black ones black, and the silver parts all silver, and most of the kind of joints are silver. And it was still kind of tacky when I was snapping them together. So that made it difficult. But other than that, if you don't do that, it's incredibly straightforward. And the plastic they use is actually much sturdier than what you get with Gundam kits, because I think it's sort of made to be transformed a bit. But yeah, like you just need like a pair of little tweezers, little sprue cutters to piece them together, and there's no glue. It comes with the stickers, and then you get like a cool thing to put on your shelf.
Yeah, I think it's important to note, like, sit at a nice desk, or a desk that you don't mind, maybe getting a little scratched up or something that you can see on. Be in a well-lit room, and yeah, get those little wire cutter tweezer things, because they're great. You can, we showed them off on the show before, actually. They're just like little model tweezers. I have a set at home.
I really hope we get more snap together stuff from Power Rangers, because I would love like a master grade quality Dragonzord to play with that has like lights and stuff. I'm sure somebody is gonna who's really good at this stuff is gonna like put LEDs in there and make his chest light up and everything. But yeah, these are available through Bluefin. You can just find them online. They have a shop. They're basically just importing a bunch of cool Japanese stuff and bringing it stateside. Also, if you haven't been to a Barnes & Noble lately, they have like a surprising amount of model kits available there. So check that out if you are in fact interested. And they're,
Yeah, suck
they're
it,
gonna
books.
go right here. You could also read books, but who wants that when you can build fun toys?
That's true.
Another thing we got this week is there's a book coming out. It is the PlayStation Anthology. This is from Geeks Line Publishing. It's about $40. This was actually funded through Kickstarter, and it is an incredibly comprehensive history of the original PlayStation. It goes through kind of all the different hardware iterations, the Pocket Station, which never came out stateside.
Which is effectively like their little VMU, right?
Yeah, it was their little Tamagotchi.
Little Dreamcast Tamagotchi.
And then it has interviews with all these people who were integral in the making of the PlayStation. And there's a look at kind of old collector's editions, which I love. Man, I remember this. The Dragon Ball games that came out, my friend had to buy like a mod chip to put in the back of his PS1 to play like burn games he bought on eBay.
Boxing.
What is? Yeah, that's Victory Boxing. I don't even know what that is. But yeah, it's cool to see stuff like this. I remember this being in the window at like KB Toys, like the Metal Gear Collector's Edition, Final Fantasy VIII. But yeah, it's like an entire crash course on really just everything that went into the first PlayStation. These guys clearly did a ton of research.
It's got a whole list of every release date as well. One of the things I really like about this book is it sort of contextualizes PlayStation with the rest of the industry per sort of time period. So when you're looking at Crash Kart Racing, you're also looking at Mario Kart Racing, and you're looking at other games that came out around the same time.
Yeah.
And that's important because games don't exist in a vacuum, and neither do consoles. So a lot of the business decisions and artistic decisions that a lot of these companies have made have been reactionary or sort of been in leadership roles of the industry.
Yeah, there's Michael Jackson.
And there's Michael Jackson.
Yeah, played Tekken. That is Michael Jackson playing Tekken. That is in this book.
Then he probably bought that cabinet and put it in his house.
I mean, I think a lot of people know this, but it's totally worth repeating. The PlayStation began as a Super Nintendo peripheral. It was a CD drive that was going to go on top there.
Which
and they were
somebody found about a year and a half ago a working prototype model of that thing. It's incredibly expensive, and they got it running like very early version, rudimentary versions of games. I think people are expecting there to be some sort of like Mario Final Fantasy game in there somewhere. I mean, that's Mario RPG. That's about as close as you're going to get. But yeah, that's the entire history of PlayStation was basically spawned from Nintendo being kind of a selfish, greedy ex, and Sony going on and doing their own thing.
Drama there, but yeah, I love this kind of like deep dive history book. I'm stoked that games are old enough that they're starting to get stuff like this. But this is clearly a very hefty book. It's about 450 pages, and it's $45. So look it up. It's Geeks Line Publishing, and
it's ironically like just a little bit smaller than like a PS3 Slim.
Yeah.
It's like console
It
size.
weighs more than an actual PlayStation.
This is true.
Now, if you love PlayStation, you probably also love Lego trains.
Voted the #1 vehicle in the world by people who love trains.
Yeah. And Lego people specifically love to use trains to get to work when they go to work in their Lego cities and towns. You do this one.
Sure.
This showed up for you in the mail.
Yeah, so we've been friends with some folks over at the publishing company here. It's No Starch Press, and they've been doing a lot of really cool Lego books, and they have basically gotten deeper and deeper into their deep dives of who these are actually for. We got one last year that was basically Christmas ornaments that you could make from Legos, and we got one that was like vehicles and like hamburgers and stuff like that. So the cool thing about these things is that they basically, they're sort of like half design philosophies, but also kind of like fully printed manuals on how to build Lego sets. Like these are actual like 3D renders of Lego instructions in a hardbound book, which I think is really interesting. These are not kits that you can find that are made officially by Lego.
No, you got to track down a lot of pieces for that.
So these are kits that basically like you will put together, and there are sites where I think Brickseek is one of them, right? Where you can basically, oh look at that turtle, he's blocking my view over here.
Get out of here.
Where you can basically put together an entire list of a custom order of Legos that you want, and then build a train, and in here, there's also very sort of simple like engines and stuff like that, stuff that you can keep it running.
No, like hardcore Lego builders are an amazing type of people.
Yeah, like these are just some of the parts, right, that you would need for one train. But when you're done, like you have a Lego train, and you didn't buy a set You know, like you have a custom kit basically.
You did it the hard way.
Yeah. So, and it's all like, if you're really into trains, which again, I'm not, because I was talking about this with Max.
Don't be bashful.
No.
You're a big train enthusiast.
I'm going to tell you why I'm not crazy about trains. I have to ride them to work every day. But there are people that like live in small towns where the train goes by and they're like, I love that train because it comes and then it leaves. And me, I'm like, I hate that train because I wait for it, it's late, I get on it, it stinks of poop, and then I have to ride it to work, and sometimes it breaks, and then I get here and I got to work all day and then go home and do it all over again. Not a great system.
Yeah,
but that's not really Lego's fault or the people at No Starch Press. They just make a book about the train.
Now you have a book about trains to go home and read.
The #1 vehicle is voted by people who love the train.
They do. What are we doing this week?
I think that was it. Was that
all right?
everything?
Is that it? We're going to talk about Lego. No, not Lego. Sorry, Ninja Batman anime. Can you imagine how maybe I accidentally would have slipped the word Lego into Ninja Batman?
Yeah, I think your SEO is complete right there.
That's pretty good. So they announced that there's going to be a Ninja Batman anime, and it's just incredible. It is being directed by, it's character designs by Takashi Okazaki, who did Afro Samurai, and it's being directed by Junpei Mizusaki, who I believe did the intro for JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. But watching this, you get the sense of kind of what's going on. It's feudal Japanese Batman in anime form, but it also is insane because why would this ever make sense? It's completely out there. The Joker's there. He's like a weird demon. I think it's odd. This is also like kind of a cel-shaded, almost CG look to it. But I love that like DC is figuring out like a live action thing. You know, Justice League was a step in the right direction. Obviously, you know, we're gonna get a Batman movie sooner or later. And over in Japan, they're like, nah, man, we're gonna get really weird with it. We get a look at the Bat family here in a second, which is like kind of insane. You've got the Red Hood there wearing this like crazy like kendo mask, and then Nightwing, and then Robin, who's got like weird shaved heads on the side.
Is that Alfred up front?
Yeah, Alfred's in there. He's just like
great.
a weird assistant.
Yeah, I really love this. I'm all for this classic character being sort of reimagined in different ways, and this is, sort of especially exciting because it is such a departure from everything we've known. But we've also seen like steampunk Batman. You know, we've seen old school Batman. We've seen black and white film noir Batman. So why not this, right?
Well, one of the best Batman movies of the last decade was Gotham Knight, which was the kind of animatrix approach to Batman, where they had a bunch of different animated shorts from different directors and filmmakers doing like, yeah, let's tell a Batman story, a really short one. It's just short and sweet and stylized. And
weird technical question: Is this cel shaded? Is this like CG?
Yeah,
is it hand drawn?
It's kind of like a hybrid, I think.
Yeah, because it's tough to say exactly what I'm looking at, but I don't really think it matters because it's all kind of coming together.
Yeah, it looks awesome. But yeah, I don't know why the Joker has a feudal Japanese Gundam. That's a bit much.
Oh, you know why? Because it's not real.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's a good point.
It's magical fantasy.
So this is funny. Pixar put out a new movie called Coco, which looked awesome to a lot of people. Pixar has made some fantastic films, and they have their own kind of distinct audience. And then Disney, who Pixar is a subsidiary of, decided it was a good idea to put a 21-minute long short about Olaf, the snowman from Frozen, in front of Coco.
So the way this worked was this apparently was originally supposed to be something that aired on television, and at the last minute they're like, haha, what if it was before a movie? But I think what they did forget was that when you go see a movie, you go to see the movie. And when you get there, there's already 22 minutes of like Coca-Cola commercials, and they tell you not to talk, and they make that baby crying noise, and there's videos of food, and then there's like 15 other trailers for movies.
And then they show you a different video about turning your cell phone off.
Yeah. And then you have to wait through the entire movie to see the movie, and then you have to wait until after the movie to see another part of the movie they didn't put in the movie, and then sometimes even after that, there's another part of the movie. So it's just a really long day.
Now, try doing all of that with children. Who are usually who people take to go see, Disney movies.
Right.
And I'm sure children like the Frozen snowman with his songs.
Oh, they love that.
But a lot of people just kind of wanted to go see a Pixar movie, and it's like, I don't know, like I think Frozen's, I don't like it. It's not for me at all, but I'll go see a Pixar movie here and there. So it's kind of like if they were like, oh, you've come to this critically acclaimed sushi restaurant. Well, before you start your main course, have a cheeseburger.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't really want that. I kind of want the thing that I bought the ticket for.
Yeah, if I wanted a cheeseburger,
a free cheeseburger is cool, but
So I think the main two problems here are not even necessarily that it's Frozen. It's that A, it's 21 minutes long, which is absurd, and B, Pixar has a long history of showing freaking awesome short films before And they are always like these weird one-off stories, like something like Presto, right? Which is effectively the closest we've ever gotten to a Portal movie. It is about a magician who is reaching into his hat to basically do tricks with a rabbit. But the hat works as a portal. And you start seeing it appear all over the stage and all over the world, and it's just bizarre. It's basically it's like what Nintendo does best, right? Like they take this weird core idea, they stretch it out over the course of 6 minutes. It's something that would never be 90 minutes long, because that's absurd. Or something like Bound, which is about a bouncing sheep, right?
No, I mean, some of the best like Disney cartoons of recent years have been those shorts they show before movies.
Paperman?
Yeah, Paperman was really good. That was like the one where they're like late for a train, they fall in love because they're made of paper or whatever. Those are actually, they sell all these on Amazon by themselves, and they're like $2 or $3, and you can get them. There's one I got called Piper. That's about a sandpiper that doesn't want to go in the water because it's like scared. It's like a little wiener bird.
Yeah, they have they actually sell
befriends hermit crabs, and it goes in there, it gets the sweet oysters hidden at the bottom of the sea.
Everyone
learns a valuable lesson.
By the way,
ocean life.
Paperman has nothing to do with them being paper. He just throws a paper airplane that has like a logo.
No, I'm pretty sure they're paper.
They're not.
Didn't they draw them on paper before they put them in the film?
Most art is drawn on paper.
Myth
yes.
busted.
I don't think so.
Yes.
So anyway, you can buy all of those shorts individually. You can also get them as a DVD or a Blu-ray. I don't know why I said you could buy all those shorts. That just sounds like you're going clothes shopping.
Head on down to the Old Navy and check out the shorts.
Go to Shorts Town to get your hottest shorts. But yeah, this sucks. But the good news is, if you're going to see Coco soon, this has already been pulled out. And you can just watch the 22 minutes of junk they put before every movie, like a weird dude.
Yeah.
And then stick around afterwards to see if Stan Lee shows up and farts or something. I have no idea.
I don't think Stan Lee's ever farted in an MCU
I love
film.
the Coco.
Greetings, true believers. Excelsior. Just rips ass.
The man is 106, so he probably has some old dusters going on back there.
Yeah. I'll tell you who it was, wall crawler. It was that Don Mysterio.
That's what I think it sounds like when the legendary
It's
comics
the
creator.
X-Men's good friend, the Banshee.
I know you've done a
Morbius,
lot of
the
great
living
things, Stan Lee,
vampire.
creator of some of the most iconic characters of all time. But what if these two men, who've never won an award at an award show, thought you farted like an old train? Like a toot, woot.
Find out more in Trains, the book.
The book. The sequel to Trains, the thing. PSX is coming up. You know what that is? PlayStation Xylophone. And you can go to it all weekend long at Anaheim, California. A town so good, Guy Fieri would love to eat there every night because the food is just perfectly tailored to get into a car and drive away from it. But anyway, we'll be there, and we'll be doing live panels, and you can come see Podcast Beyond rank the 10 best PlayStation games of all time without killing each other.
Yeah, we might actually kill Marty.
We can kill Marty. That's
We're going
okay.
to slay him.
He's
on the
dead
stage.
inside, so he can be dead outside
Yeah.
too. After that, I am hosting a panel called Ghosts of Tsushima with Sucker Punch. That is at 3:30 and on Saturday. So if you're there, watch it. If you're not, watch it on Twitch, YouTube, Wowza, or wherever else you get your Up at Noons.
Yep. You can get all of PSX exclusively streamed through Yowza, only $7.95 a month. I honestly don't know if Yowza is a real platform. If it is, I apologize for saying the price point. I
thought it was
don't know.
Wowza. Did
Is
we
it
change-
Wowza? Did I say Yowza?
The Wowza company was repurchased by Yahoo, and now they've become Yowza.
Congratulations on the Yahoo Wowza merger. Anyway, we're going to be at Anaheim in this weekend, so if you're there, say hello, and if not, catch it on the stream. If you are there, we're going to be doing some meet and greets of Beyond stuff. Barrett, can you scroll the teleprompter a little bit? Thanks, dude. Round 1 Arcade at 2800 North Main Street Avenue. What? Avenue 11? What? I don't even... Just head over to IGN.com and look at the details.
2800 North Main Street, Avenue 1100, Santa Ana, California, 92705.
How do you call it 2800 North Main Street? It's Avenue 1100. What does that mean?
I don't know.
Those are two streets. We're having a meet and greet in an apartment? That's weird. Anyway, we'll be in Santa Ana. So just keep an eye out. Or whatever.
Really?
That's on Friday at 10 p.m.
Yeah.
18 and up until then, and then 21 over and after midnight.
Clearly we got this all buttoned up.
We did a good job with today's episode.
Yep.
Clearly.
I think it's probably the best one.
Hey, what's happening next week?
Nothing.
Nothing?
No, nothing at all.
Not a
We're not
thing?
doing nothing. And we're
Not a
not going to
thing?
do a thing. What are we
Not a
doing
single
next
thing?
week? Okay. So next week there's this independent film coming about this young sort of indentured servant woman who meets an elderly grandfather who lives alone in the mountains, and they learn to find peace through swords that slice through walls and men. and it's called Star Wars: The Last Jedi. And there's a basketball robot and a man from show Girls with a cut on his face. Guess who else is in there? Liberace, but he looks like an old ghost.
Did you like Gollum from Lord of the Rings? Well, would you like him if he was 9 feet tall and wearing satin robes?
His name's Tollum. And that's my Snoke theory, you big dork. Last Jedi comes out next week, and we're losing our damn minds.
Yeah, so
Max and I are seeing it. We're gonna see it twice next week.
We're gonna do a Star Wars episode next week. So tune in Thursday noon Pacific live time, the normal time we do this, and it's gonna be all Star Wars. We're gonna go nuts with Star Wars. We're gonna have a good time with Star Wars. It's gonna be great because Star Wars.
Yeah. We won't
no
spoil
spoilers,
anything.
no spoilers.
But
Yep.
it really is a tall golem. It's weird, right? And he's got that Liberace, the whole thing. It's great. You know what's weird? This is what I want one day. I want like a very long, a long BB-8.
I don't like where this is going.
You
want like a hot dog droid?
Yeah, that's exactly it.
You want like an
What is little
R2D2 on his stomach with little wheels coming out the bottom?
Yes,
So
but it's roundabout. So you take BB-8, right, and you stretch him out. So he's like this, and it's just like a big long hot dog.
Hey, if you like that, you might also like trains.
Big hot dog.
Give me like a train the size of a dog that beeps and honks at me.
That's what
As
I
I
want.
go about my day.
That's what I want. I want a
small-
hot dog. I want one of those hot dog. What are they called? Dachshunds? That's how it's spelled. Dachshund? What is that? What is that word? Why don't you spell it D-O-X?
All right. Thank you for watching, and we apologize.
Spelled like Dachshund. It's nonsense.
Oh no, they dachshund.
I want a really long hot dog truck. Star Wars: The Last Jedi comes out next week, and that woman and that man will meet on the rock, and they'll fight that Cornish hen.
Remember.
The frog nuns will be there. There's gonna be that old man at the Italian wedding. Oh, he's the best. Oh, I can't wait for this.
My boy!
I can't.
My hand!
The tall, angry metal woman will return to kill that man with the jacket. That'll be good. There's an old widow there. She's upset. And a bear who flies. Such nonsense it is. Anyway, next week, Star Wars: The Last Jedi. Home of the Dachshund. IGN, up at noon, the #1 show that no one's seen.
Clearly.
Thanks to the Game Awards.
They would have pulled the plug years ago if they knew what we'd been up to back here.
Hell yeah. See you next week, Geoff Keighley.